Hello! You probably clicked on this video because you want to find the slope of a line that passes through the two given points. I can't really think of another reason why you clicked on this video, but if you're here for a different reason, welcome. Okay, 2 quick notes. Number 1, I'm going to go pretty in-depth in this video, what I'm doing, give some background, going pretty in-depth. If you don't need that in-depth, go ahead and click right here for just a really quick overview. But if you need the detail, I am here for you. Please stay. I want to teach you. Okay. Second thing, just glad you're here. Thank you for being here. All right. First of all, before we get into this, what is slope? Okay. Slope is how steep a line is. Okay, simply said. There are 4 slopes you might see. Okay, I know you want to know all 4 of them, so I'm going to tell you. This is a positive slope. Okay, negative slope. This is a slope of 0. And this is an undefined slope. Okay, we'll go into a little more detail about what these are and give you an example of each. Aren't you excited? I knew it. All right. So, they want us to find the slope through these 2 given points, okay? These are ordered pairs, and we can graph these on a graph 4, 2, 6, 5, okay? But they want to know the slope of them. There's 2 ways we can do this. We can graph it and count, or we can use the equation. So, which one do you want to do first? Oh, wait, I get a pick because I can't hear you. I wish I could. All right, here is the equation. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Where are these x's and y's coming from? All ordered pairs we label as the first number is an x, the second number is a y. Oh, look at that. All right, and the reason for that is because on the coordinate plane, the graph, the axes are labeled the x and y axis, okay? Now, what about the 1 and 2? Those are simply to be able to tell the ordered pairs apart. So I'm just going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. And then we just simply plug those in, okay? So we've got y2, which is 5, minus y1, which is 2. So I've got 5 minus 2 on top, all over x2 is 6, x1 we are subtracting, which is 4. All right, 5 minus 2 gives me 3, 6 minus 4 gives me 2. Guess what? That's my answer. That is the slope of the line that goes through those 2 points. All right, but what does this mean? Great, that's my slope. What does this mean? All right, what this means is slope is commonly referred to in math land as rise over run. It's just a way to help you remember that the top is up and down, the bottom is left and right of the way that your line is going. So what I would do is plot 4, 2 on a graph, and then I would go from that point up 3 over 2. Does that make sense? Oh, look. It's been done. It's like a cooking show when they're like 2 hours later, and there it is. Here's the graph, okay? So we've got 4, 2 right here. We went over 4 up to x, y. That's our point. Then my slope is up 3 over 2. Oh, look, there's my next point. That makes me feel pretty confident we got it right. So that's the other way that you can find slope, is by just simply plotting those points and then counting in between. Again, you do up and down and then left and right. Okay? Now, quick side note. 3 over 2 is equal to -3 over -2. Are you skeptical? Don't be. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So this is really just this, not simplified, okay? And why do we care about that? Because a line goes in two directions, right? I'm going this way forever, I'm going this way forever. So if I were to plot my 4, 2, and then I go up 3 over 2, I can do it again and again and again because lines keep going. But what about this direction? Well, this direction is just the negative over the negative. So since it's a -3, I would go down 3. Since it's a -2, I go left 2. So that way we cover both directions. Okay? There's number 1. That is a positive slope. Okay? Number 2. Now, here's our points. We could count it, but we need practice with the formula because usually the formula is quicker. Okay, so where's my formula card? Here we go. First thing, I like to label them. Hold on, I'm going to get a different color. Why? Because I like colors. Okay, we've got first one is always X, second one is Y. First one X, second Y. Then I use the 1s and 2s simply to be able to tell them apart. So we're going to make these ones 1s, these ones 2s. Okay. Y2 is a -6. Don't forget to keep that negative with it. Minus Y1, which is 1. We're putting that over X2, which is 2, minus X1, which is -2. Crap. Can I have 2 negatives in a row? Is that allowed? It is. It's a good idea to put little parentheses just to help you remember. All right. We'll talk about this. -6 minus 1. Okay, that's like I owe somebody $6 and then I borrow another $1, right? So I owe them $7. Okay? So a -7. Down here, I've got 2 minus a -2 or 2 take away a -2. We are taking away a negative. Hang with me for a second. Say you get grounded. That's a negative thing in your life, right? That's a negative. And then your parent or guardian says, I'm going to take away that you are grounded. I'm going to take away that negative. Wouldn't that be positive? Like you can play video games and go get soda with your friends? Positive. When we subtract a negative, it gives us a positive. So this turns into 2 plus 2, which is 4. Okay, guess what? That is my answer. -7/4. All right, another side note, kind of like when we talked about earlier, my negative can be on top or bottom. It doesn't change it. So what that means is, if I plot this point, -2, 1, excuse me, and I start there, and my slope is -7/4, so I go down 7, right 4, negative, positive, right? But I'm telling you that this is also 7, -4. What that means, if I start here again and I went this direction, but lines go in 2 directions, that means I can also go up 7, negative or left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So by working with that negative, we get it going both directions like it should. Okay. All right, that is a negative slope. We had a positive slope, we had a negative slope. You'll never guess what we're gonna do next, kids. Okay, next side, we've got 1, -5, and 4, -5. We want to know what the slope is that of a line that goes through both those points, okay? Where is my equation? Right here. So x, y, x, y. I do the ones and twos just to be able to tell them apart. So I'm going to say these are the ones and these are the twos. Okay. y2 is -5 minus y1 is also -5. Remember, we don't need to be scared of this. We're subtracting a negative. Just need to remember to write them both. All right, x2 is 4 minus x1, which is 1. All right. We've got -5 minus a -5. We talked about that. You're not grounded anymore. So it's 5 plus 5. Sorry, excuse me. -5 plus 5, which gives me 0. Oh, that kind of puts an idea in my head like, oh, this one might be a little different. 4 minus 1 gives me 3. All right, so we got 0 over 3, which really is just 0. So my slope is 0. What does that look like? I showed you an example at the beginning. It is a completely flat line, okay? So I have my points here, 1, -5, and 4, -5. And the line that goes through those is just completely flat. That is what a slope of 0 looks like. Okay, now let's do our last one. So, same thing I've been doing. I label them. Some people can do this without labeling them. My brain just yearns for math things to be labeled. All right, I'd rather write too much than not enough. So I'm going to say these ones are x1 and y1. These ones are x2 and y2. Okay, y2 is 2 minus y1 is 4 all over x2 is 6 and x1 is also 6. All right, 2 minus 4 gives me a -2, right? Your kindergarten teacher told you that could not be done, and then you got older and a different teacher was like, oh, hey, you can do that. So 2 minus 4, it's like, I have $2. I want to buy something that's $4. If I did, I would be $2 in debt, right? -2. 6 minus 6 gives me 0. Oh gosh. If this didn't, it should send up a red flag. This is like your friend coming home with a scary boyfriend, all right? Red flag. We can't divide by 0. It's like you have 5 dog bones and no dogs. How many bones does each dog get? And you're like, I don't have any dogs. You can't divide by 0. You can try plugging it into your calculator and your calculator will give you something like, I can't do this. So what does that mean for slope? That means this slope is, you got it, undefined. This slope doesn't want to be defined. And it looks like this straight up and down. Okay. Now, one thing that can be just maybe something that's kind of hard to remember is like, okay, I know that the flat one and the straight up and down one are kind of the strange ones, but which one is 0, which one is undefined? I just think of skiing. You couldn't ski this, right? Undefined, you couldn't ski that. This you could ski, but it would be 0 fun, right? Sorry, cross country people. So that's kind of how I remember. Okay, one other side note. is these other two that we did, they both came out as fractions, right? Now, if you solve one of these and you get that your slope is like 3, it's like, oh, what do I do with that? Well, if you get a slope of 3, anything that isn't a fraction can be made into a fraction. So if it's not a fraction, it's just over a 1. So this would be up 3, right 1. Okay, same thing if you had like a -7, you got that as your answer. Put it over a 1, it would be down 7, right 1. Okay, now hopefully that's anything weird you'll run into. Hopefully this all made sense. Hopefully you can go to bed and have dreams of math and they won't be nightmares.